Hi guys, it's me Chrissy and I'm here with a book review on We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. This was published in 1962 with an introduction by Jonathan Lethem, who's also an author, and if you don't like spoilers, I suggest you read the introduction when you're done with the book, or if you're okay with, if you want to understand the book better before going into it, I would say read the introduction first. And this is about three people who live in this mansion in a secluded part of the town. Like, they have a huge property and it's fenced off from the rest of the town. And also, it takes place at the beginning of the book takes place being narrated by her, Mary Cat, or Mary Catherine, and she's going about her daily errands. Not daily errands, but more like she goes into town twice a week to collect groceries for the family. And as she's doing her grocery shopping, you find out that the townspeople actually don't like her, and that's because she lives in the house with her older sister and Uncle Julian, and you find out that they are actually the only survivors of a mass murder that occurred in the house a few years before. And the older sister, Constance, was actually accused of the crime but later acquitted. But most people think she was the one who committed the murder, her, because she's the one who did the cooking. And how the family died was the family died through arsenic poisoning, and the arsenic was in the sugar. And Constance doesn't like sugar, and their Uncle Julian, who was the only other survivor, besides Meerkat, who was sent to bed without dinner, he only had a little bit of the sugar. So it's just the three of them living in this house, and they're secluded from the rest of the town, and they like it, actually. And Meerkat is the only one who actually goes around to get stuff, because if she doesn't, then they don't have any access to food. They live in seclusion, but they're happy about it. They're happy with it, and they like being secluded because it's their own happy place, their own little bubble, almost like it's frozen in time, despite the fact that time goes on. And Meerkat is actually an unreliable narrator, which you begin to find out as the book goes along. And she says at the beginning that I'm 18. And then when I was reading it, I kept forgetting that she was 18 because I felt like I was reading it from the perspective of a 12-year-old who's still, figuring out people. And you have their Uncle Julian, who has been, because he only had a little bit of the poison, he survived, but he has left extremely disabled. And as a matter of fact, I don't even think he's mentally stable anymore. And he constantly goes back to the day they were murdered. He's even planning to make a memoir about the day everyone was murdered, how it went down, and all the details. And Constance and Meerkat have this beautiful relationship where they just really, really love each other. And but at the same time, it feels like Constance loves her sister so much to the point where she enables her to do a lot of to do some bad things. And Constance actually doesn't even leave the house. She only goes up to like the garden. So that's something. And then Meerkat has this thing where she sort of practices magic, where she has her own magic words, and she has these omens where she feels things and she nails stuff to trees, and she thinks if she can make things better by smashing them. And so one day their cousin Charles, who is part of their family but from another branch, who, when they found out about the murders, they decided to sever ties with the family. He comes over because he says his dad died, and now he wants to make things right with the family. But it's really obvious that he's just there for the family fortune, which is apparently just in their family's safe, because when the house goes up in flames, all he cares about is getting the safe in the father's office, and he keeps yelling that. And he even goes back to the house after the fire, when it's just Mary Cat and Constance, and he's trying to get the attention of Constance once more, but because now they know he's a lying, mean person, they don't respond to him. Even and when he goes back, he doesn't go back by himself out of the sincerity of his heart. He goes back with a reporter who wants a scoop, and he's also like, how much is my cut, you know? So even if he does have any real feeling, it's overshadowed by the fact that he thinks he can make money out of his family. And as for Uncle Julian and their cousin Charlie, it seems like their cousin Charlie literally just tried to alienate their Uncle Julian and Mary Cat from Constance, because it seems like Constance is the one who has the power in the family for their small family dynamic. It seems as though she is the new matriarch, but at the same time, I noticed that she relies just as much on Mary Catherine as Mary Catherine relies on Constance, and they have this sort of I don't know the word, but it's like this relationship where they just rely on each other to the point where it's not exactly very healthy, but at the same time it's very loving. So that was very interesting, and I like the fact that it's not exactly a horror book, because I didn't find anything scary about it. I just found the fact that Mary Cat, as an unreliable narrator, made this story interesting, and I'm not even sure if Charlie was that bad. And she's always trying to say, I'll be kinder to Uncle Julian, which apparently I didn't get it until the end, that oh, she's trying to be kinder because she tried to kill him, you know? And then when you find out she was the one who tried to murder everybody, it's not really that surprising, because all she talks about is like, I want to murder them, or like when she goes into the village and they bully her, all she thinks about is, I want to kill everybody, or like, I want to destroy this whole town. And so you have that going on, and it's just like, there is love, and there was a good, like, where they are in their little bubble, there is this loving atmosphere of happiness, and they just get along so well. But then when outside elements are brought in, they don't know how to react. They don't know how to like, I think Constance was very bruised from all of the media attention, that she can't stand it when she doesn't know who someone is, and when even if she knows you, even if she knows the person, she can only stand it for a few minutes. And Uncle Julian, who rarely gets visitors and gets tired easily because he's sick, all he can talk about is the day they were murdered, especially to visitors and things like that. And Mary Cat seems like she knows that she's 18, but at the same time, it's like she's stuck in the age of when the murders were committed, and then it's like Constance is trying to give her a second childhood by just letting her sort of run wild, just letting her do what she wants. But yes, this was my first Shirley Jackson book, and this was also Shirley's last book, and I look forward to reading more of her stuff. And so that's it. This is my review book talk, I guess, on We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and I think it's a very good read. So thank you for watching, thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!